Africa and its economy is blessed, but many of their people are living with scraps. They will tell you that the economy is thriving, but the citizens that live in this so-called continent are saying nothing, if I may say so myself. So, in this video, I will discuss why Africa's economy boom still isn't reaching the ordinary citizens. In the bustling markets of Nairobi, the commercial hubs of Lagos, and the mining towns of Zambia, these three countries combined can be a paradox that defines daily life. While economic indicator trends upward and international institutions, the ordinary citizens are always facing piled up challenges. Still again, this microeconomic resilience hasn't actually been transferred into better living conditions for so many Africans. The continent remains home to two-thirds of the world's extreme poor, and the economic growth has delivered little to nothing in terms of reductions in Africans' poverty than any other continents that are out there. The statistical portrait of Africa's economy appears to be a little bit promising at a glance. 21 African countries will achieve growth exceeding 5% in 2025, with Ethiopia, Niger, Rwanda, and Senegal potentially reaching the critical 7% threshold required for meaningful poverty reduction. Regional variation exists, like East Africa, which leads with 5.9% growth, while Southern Africa lags at 2.2%. But this is just a momentum in my eye. Still again, under these figures, there are different realities. Real income per capita in 2025 is expected to be approximately 2% below its 2010 peak. This discrepancy between aggregate growth and individual welfare is showing a fundamental disconnect in Africa's development model, where the economic expansion has failed horribly, which is meant to generate wider prosperity. Africa's economy experience defies homogenization, with significant disparities emerging across regions. The growth map reveals a continent of haves and have-nots, where geographic location is used to determine economic destiny. I want to use four sides of Africa to explain what I'm talking about. For East Africa, it leads the continent with a projected 5.9% growth in 2025 to 2026, which is eventually driven by Ethiopia, Rwanda, and Tanzania. For West Africa, it maintains a solid 4.3% growth because of new oil and gas production coming on stream in Senegal and Niger. For Central Africa, the economy is unfortunately slow by 3.2%, while Southern Africa will grow by just 2.2%, which is one of the weakest performers throughout the continent. Lastly, North Africa had already registered 3.6% growth despite persistent headwinds and unfortunate economic incidents. All this regional percentage growth has translated into vastly different experience. If you take a good look at South Africa, which anchors the underperforming southern region, their unemployment situation has reached 33.2% in Q2 2025, with youth unemployment specifically hitting a catastrophic 62.2%. It is really that bad. The country's poverty rate has risen steadily from 65.8% in 2010 to estimated 68.1% by the end of 2025, meaning more than two-thirds of South Africans now live in extreme and severe poverty. This divergence between regional growth statistics and household level struggle is telling us an ugly truth. Without deliberate economic expansion, it will only benefit those who are already positioned to capture its rewards. I mean, the rich of the richest will continuously enjoy life, while the two-thirds of Africa will continue to swim in poverty. Perhaps the most telling contradiction in Africa's growth story lies in between economic expansion and the so-called job creation. Sub-Saharan Africa's working age population is fortunately expected to grow by more than 600 million people over the next quarter century, which of course is that high. This demographic wave that is projected could represent a good or bad thing, whereby there will be more people, or it could be a solid dividend or solid economic growth in the long run. Despite regional growth projection of 3.8% in 2025, only 24% of new workers secure wage-paying jobs, which is still a poor statistics. The rest, which are the 76%, we have to join the funnel and join the ranks of unemployment. The nature of work in most African countries revealed that the in-depth challenges we have been encountering are still there. Countries like Kenya have seen their own share of challenges. Even those who manage to enter the job sector are confronted with one of the highest paying inequalities in the world. Some are paid low for the same job that some are being paid high for, despite having the same years of experience. Anyway, that is how it is. Another scenario is South Africa, which I have discussed previously about their poverty issues. There are workers in high-skilled jobs in nearly 5 times more than those in low-skilled positions. This terrible situation will still create an elite class whose prosperity further widens Africa's inequality gap. I know that the inequality gap situation is everywhere in the world, which I am not doubting that, but it is far worse in South Africa. I want you to take a good look at this map. If you look at South Africa, their economic growth, which is 2025 projection, is 0.8%, which is too low. And their social challenge is unemployment and poverty rates, and those ones are too high. Then if you check Sub-Saharan Africa, their projection is 3.8% for 2025, which is very good, and they have 24% of new workers, and for me, I still like that. If you look at East Africa, their economic growth is 5.9%, which is very good, and their labor market has been dominating. But if you look at fragile and conflict states like South Sudan, their economic growth is very poor. We have to even talk about 2019 below, but it's still poor even after COVID. Their poverty rate is twice as something that I cannot explain. So South Sudan, their economy is very bad. Though it's as worse as South Africa. I know that there are other countries and continents that are facing their own problems, and I get that, but they are in better shapes than we are. When God gives you everything and you misuse them, then you will never grow. The change is now, and we have to do something about it. If not, we will regret for the rest of our lives. So, I want you to check out this video that is being displayed. I hope you enjoy it, and see you there very soon.